What's going on, guys? Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Adidas Nemeziz Tango 17.1 TR sneakers in the launch Dust Storm Pack colorway, and I really hope we get a variation of this in every colorway pack they release for the Nemeziz going forward, because I'm a big fan of this particular shoe. So this is the new Nemeziz sneaker. Emphasis on the word sneaker. It's not really intended as a performance product, coming straight from Adidas, and I'll explain why that is a little bit later in today's video. We'll go over the details of what this shoe is all about, take a closer look at, I guess, the construction, because it is fairly interesting in that it is a Nemeziz inspired sneaker. We'll take a look at how they fit and feel on feet, and basically cover what you should know about these if you're planning on picking them up. Anyways, if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $130 retail price, which actually I think is a pretty fair price for this particular shoe. So obviously this is a sneaker, like I just talked about, not really intended as a performance product. Now obviously I can't tell you what to do with the shoes on your feet. Buy the shoes and use them as you want. But if you're planning on picking these up as a dedicated futsal, indoor soccer, indoor football shoe, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It's not intended for that in the first place. The outsole is more of a running shoe outsole, that even for a running shoe, if you wanted to wear these as dedicated running shoes, I think you have better options within the Adidas brand, although you definitely could do it with these. No doubt about that. So one, the outsole is not going to be all that low profile, which you wouldn't necessarily want as a dedicated indoor soccer shoe. And two, and most importantly, the actual fit and construction of the upper. The fit is more so geared towards casual wear. This is not a shoe that you put on like the Nemeziz football boot that wraps your foot really closely and gives you that nice locked-in sensation. This has a much more generous, kind of looser fit overall that's more geared towards comfort for everyday use and just general walking around versus being a performance-oriented type fit. And of course, the upper itself, it isn't really intended for performance. There's not a lot of structure. There's not a lot of, I guess, rigidity to the actual structural integrity, I guess is a better word, to the upper. So if you do make a harsh, quick change of direction, something like that, there's going to be a lot of stretch, there's going to be a lot of rollover, and just general instability. So again, this is not a shoe that I would buy as a dedicated indoor soccer shoe, futsal shoe, whatever you want to call it. It's really more so geared towards casual wear, so keep that in mind, because I know that's going to be the #1 question on this particular sneaker. Visually though, I love how these look. Obviously it's Nemeziz inspired, and everybody has their own opinion on that shoe. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm one of those people that really likes the design, especially in this launch colorway where you have the contrast of the white and black. It really shows off the design nicely. And then you can see instead of the neon yellow stripes, you have black stripes on the sneaker, so a little bit more subtle. The only neon yellow accent you're gonna find here is the Nemeziz branding going down the heel, which I do not mind at all. And then of course you just have the high contrast black and white running throughout the entire upper. You do have some real agility bandages running through the forefoot, as you would find on the boot, and then running through the heel, again, to mimic the design of the shoe itself, even running across the top of the foot here, although it's much looser. It, again, doesn't have the same tight wrap on your foot. And then the other sections are filled in with basically a knitted material with the black and white pattern. Very, very straightforward. That goes for the toe box forefoot area. The midfoot, which does have a one-piece design where it's kind of stitched through the middle, it's hidden quite nicely because of the lacing system right there, and then the little bit at the heel as well. Fuse on top to cover the heel where you have the Nemeziz branding, and that makes up pretty much the entire upper. You do of course have a lacing system where you have the black and white laces, which actually look quite good, but they're very, very long, which you'll see a little bit later in the video. It maintains the kind of V low cut here at the heel, which I think looks quite good. You have pretty much the same liner you would find on the soccer shoe in terms of the material, in that it's kind of a nice synthetic suede material, but it's got a nice amount of padding. And again, it's not necessarily going to provide a super secure locked-in sensation. It's more so just designed for walking around. The insole is technically glued in, so I'm not really going to pull it out. It's partially glued in. I guess I could pull it out. Why not? Pulled it out. Here it is. It is a mesh liner on top, pretty straightforward, solid layer of this black foam. Really nothing fancy, but you'll notice on the inside of the shoe, it does actually have open ventilation, which you can see through the bottom as well, which is kind of interesting because you think if they were going to put the ventilation through the shoe, they'd put some kind of perforations or some kind of venting in the insole, which they didn't do. So again, that kind of shows that they really did gear this more towards casual wear. The vents are more so just for the cool factor versus actually offering any kind of performance benefit in cooling your feet, or I guess allowing for better airflow. Anyways, let me put that back in there. We'll take a look at the midsole. The midsole reminds me a lot of the Alpha Bounce, although it is specific, I believe, new to this particular model. I could be wrong on that one, but it's got this kind of wavy design, a little bit Yeezy-esque, if you will, but I think it fits the design of the shoe quite nicely. You have this kind of tinted darker piece right here that has the same texture, although that is a plastic piece, and that's basically the plastic piece that goes underneath and then has the actual venting structure there running through the midfoot as well as the forefoot area. So you can see there are little cutouts. So if you were to walk through a fairly deep puddle, or I guess run around in the rain, your feet are going to get wet because it is going to seep right through the bottom of the shoe, but I guess it will offer some kind of ventilation to a certain extent, especially given that the upper is pretty much all a knitted type material. So it does have a sock-like softness to it, which is really, really nice. And then it's just solid rubber on the bottom, which I really like as well. It's got that kind of smoked out look to it. Translucent rubber, as you can see, and it's got decent flexibility. It's not the most flexible thing in the world, but again, for walking around, general comfort, it's very, very good. If anything, they don't really remind me that much in terms of feel to something like an Ultra Boost. That actually has a much more snug fit in comparison to this, and then the Boost Foam outsole, I would argue, is more comfortable as well. It's a more premium style foam. This does remind me a little bit more of the Alpha Bounce, but even that I think feels more comfortable than these. They're still very comfortable shoes, don't get me wrong, but again, it doesn't necessarily feel performance oriented. It's really more so about the look and just having a comfortable shoe to walk around in, more so than being a shoe that you're actually going to play soccer in or run in. It's really just geared towards casual wear and casual use. As far as the weight is concerned, even though again, it's a casual wear shoe, it's not that important, I figured I would let you guys know. In a size 9.5 US, which is what I have right here, these guys weigh in at 10.7 ounces. So they're definitely not heavy. They're not obviously super lightweight either. There are obviously dedicated indoor futsal Nemeziz boots within this new lineup that they've introduced. And again, if you want something for that use, for a futsal shoe, an indoor soccer shoe, that's what I would go for. If you just want a cool looking Nemeziz inspired casual wear shoe, I would definitely consider these because I think they look awesome. It's one of my personal favorite sneakers to come out in 2017 so far. So that's pretty much it about in terms of the tech specs and the overall looks of the shoe. Let's take a look at how they fit and feel on feet. So you can see on the right shoe, I actually swapped out the stock laces for some junior length black reflective SR4U replacement laces, which are a little bit thinner and definitely shorter, which you guys will see once I actually get these on, because I feel like the stock laces are a little bit too long. Of course, everyone's going to have their own opinion on that. Anyways, if you are interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. So you can see here, these are junior length laces and there's still a decent amount of slack here just because it's a fairly shallow lacing system, and the sides of the lacing come pretty close together just given how much volume there is to the shoe. So put this one on right here as well. And again, you don't put this shoe on and feel this like tight elasticated wrap. It's a high volume fit. It's comfortable for sure, but it doesn't feel like it's sucking to your foot or something like that, or squeezing your foot, I guess is a better way to put it. Let me just tie these up. And again, look how long these laces are. I'm not even tying these tight. They're kind of just tightened to the point where they don't look loose. And the laces are really, really long. Anyways, super, super comfortable. Obviously the upper is soft. It has that sock-like sensation on your foot, but it does not feel overly secure in pretty much any part. Your heel's not slipping around to the point where it's uncomfortable, but it has the fit of a casual wear sneaker, I guess is the best way to put it. Comfortable though. Really nothing to complain here. There's not really going to be anything to break in. I guess the collar here being a little bit higher and extended to look more like a Nemeziz soccer cleat is kind of unusual. That is going to come in contact there. So if that's something that bothers you or you just don't like the look of, maybe these aren't for you. But I think for most people, that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. As far as width is concerned, they have a very high volume fit overall in terms of just width and general height of the shoe. So I think these will fit just about anybody. Even if you have really, really wide feet, you'll probably find these extremely comfortable. And as far as sizing is concerned, I went with a 9.5 US, which is what I normally wear in pretty much most running shoes and sneakers. And the fit and the length seems to be pretty much perfect. So for the most part, I would say that these do run true to size overall. So if you're looking to order a pair, go for your normal running shoe size in order to get the best possible fit. So that is pretty much it, guys, for my review of the Adidas Nemeziz Tango 17.1 TR in the launch Dust Storm Pack colorway. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, you can click the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick them up below their normal $130 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, thanks for watching.